All right, we're all set then. It's the AirTouch 500 at the Bend, and the Enduros are upon us. The reigning Enduro, or reigning Sandown 500 champs have stuck it in the middle of the press conference today. So well done to Will and to Scott. A lot of speed there. A lot of Red Bull up on there as well today. And Thomas Randle always goes well at the Bend, and he's got James Moffat with him as well. I'm going to direct my questions to the main game guys, and then I'll open it up to the floor. Starting with Will. There was a lot of surprise in the TV coverage when we saw that time come up into the 48s and such a big margin. It was just such a great lap. Was that as good a lap as you can put together around the Bend?
Yeah, there was a lot of surprise in the car as well, don't worry. But I didn't think I was gonna do that. I was struggling a little bit before we put greens on. We weren't getting the best laps together or putting them together, and I think I'd only done a 50.9. So I thought, when I saw what Anton had done at the time, I thought we're really going to have to pull a lap out here. But it just really gripped up, came together, and yeah, it was a good tidy lap. So stoked with it. I think it shows we've got something good underneath us, and hopefully we can just build on it and yeah, be strong tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to keep it moving because there's plenty of journos in here, so I'll take it to Broc. Bit of a restart, isn't it, when you think of the championship scenario now, and a good chance to go and fight for phase 2 of this title, being the Repco Enduro Cup. How are you approaching that?
Yeah, no, I suppose it's pretty much business as usual, but you obviously got another driver with you on the weekend, which is really exciting. Always love working with Jamie at these events. So, yeah, it's just been good to get the ball rolling. You come to the weekend thinking you have plenty of practice, but these sessions go extremely quick, and obviously, we sort of had the rain in the first session. I sort of got 2 laps in before that, and then Jamie got in, and then with the safety car procedure and that. So the day probably seems long on paper, but gets shortened up pretty quick. So it was good to get a bit of a run in towards the back end of that session. But yeah, looking forward to tomorrow to try and, I suppose, qualifying as well. You get a few cracks at it. So looking forward to having another crack tomorrow.
All right, best of luck for what's to come. We'll take it to Thomas. What is it with this place? You seem to just gel so well here. You did your wild card here back in the day, and you were quick straight away with it. I bet you were pretty happy when you heard there was going to be an Enduro here.
Yeah, and we've got Enduros here for the next 3 years or something. So I don't know what it is about it. If I knew, then that would help at a lot of the other circuits, I would think. But it's nice to roll out with some strong speed. Obviously, there's a bit to find to Will. He smashed that lap. So, but yeah, nice to be at this end of the timing charts. There's still a long way to go. It's still only practice, and tomorrow's another big day, co-driver session, and then live practice, then quali with, you know, few hit outs on greens. So yeah, we'll see if we can find a little bit more. It's always that balance of trying to find some more time but not take away your strengths. So yeah, it's good having both cars in the top 4. So yeah, we'll see how we go tomorrow.
Let's just get straight into the questions from the floor. Who would like to get us going?
Will, just run us through what happened in pit lane towards the end of the session there. There were a few cars that got pushed out in towards your way, and you looked like you were pretty heated in the car afterwards.
No, not at all. I was probably talking to my engineer about something else. I was trying to sneak past someone just to muck around a little bit, but no, not at all. I wasn't concerned. That's just general, you know, that happens to you sometimes when you're driving down pit lane. People push back and it takes them a little bit to get going, but I wasn't worried at all by that.
The new safety car procedure, that got a trial as well in the session. How did you find that from the driver's seat?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's something that you definitely have to get used to, you know, using even your engineer counting down to when you can deactivate. I think there's a bit of time there to gain even, depending on how lenient you go and how, you know, and how sort of, yeah, it'll be interesting. But also breaking up to the line, you know, that's something new for us out on track. Like for me, then it wasn't too bad. I'm sure for everyone, you come out of turn 3 there and it was quite quickly braking. But if it's one down the front straight or that, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Moff, for you, busy day jumping in between the Trans Am car and the supercar as well. Is there a certain challenge in that you have to adapt to?
Yeah, it wasn't much fun. I'm glad it's over, to be honest. And yeah, but it's, you know, I knew coming into the weekend that's what was ahead of me. So today was probably the most challenging day in that aspect. But yeah, we'll see what tomorrow's like with 2 Trans Am races. Only the co-driver session and probably not much for me to do in practice 5, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, enjoyed seeing Thomas be speedy this afternoon, and hopefully we can keep the Castrol Mustang up the front tomorrow.
Tom, for you, as Chad touched on, obviously this is a place where you've gelled with really well throughout your entire career. Have you always had this earmarked as sort of a big day for you to sort of really stamp your authority on a finals berth come the end of the season?
Do you want to say big day?
A big weekend to...
Just go about it like any other race meeting, to be honest. And if we can be competitive, then that's great. And yeah, if we can keep this sort of speed in the car for the rest of the weekend, it'll be ideal. Not trying to worry too much about the whole final stuff now. Just want to do the best job that we can do as a pairing, as a team, and for the Castrol car.
Just after a few more opinions and thoughts on the safety car procedure. Scott, you've always got something interesting to say. What do you reckon?
I actually didn't do it, so...
Give him something juicy.
No, you weren't in the car at the time, but the rules are for the weekend. You might have to do it in the race. What do you think of the system?
I think they had to do something after Queensland Raceway. I think it's too early to criticise yet. We'll have to wait and see how it unfolds. It's confusing, but, I think it looked like all the drivers got it pretty well worked out there. I think the challenge you'll have is still just maximising it, making sure you don't give up any time on track, because it's easy to lose plenty when there's now slow zones and things like that will come after the first procedure. To be honest, I'm not going to criticise it until we've done it, and it might be a positive, and there may be no need for any criticism.
Thomas, I believe you were in your car for that test run then. What did you think?
I actually think it ran all right. It was the point that Will Brown made regarding knowing when to deactivate the limiters. You're really just relying off radio. So if you lose radio, then you're in trouble. So we normally have, like, the countdown is on the dash when you've got to activate, but the way it is, there's no countdown to deactivate. So purely at the moment, or that session, we were relying off engineers to tell us. So like Will said, maybe there's they've got some sort of tolerance there. But in terms of the slow zone, that one seemed to work okay. It was at a point where you weren't really approaching it in it's not that fast out of turn 3, and you deactivate out of turn 6. So it was probably a good one to trial for race control. But it could be very different in the race.
And the 88 boys, any thoughts?
I actually found it quite fun, to be honest. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, you sort of race up to a line and jump on the brakes, and I had Will just in front of me, so I was trying to catch him there.
You did catch me a bit.
Yeah, but then you'd let go of the limiter and you pull away. So I actually found it quite amusing, but obviously we'll see what it's like in the race. I mean, it's just I suppose you just try and think of all the one-off situations that could happen, and just, you sort of just hope that it all goes to plan. I'm sure of one of the races in the next year or so, there'll be a surprise and something happens out of it. But I think the way they've explained it all goes smoothly. It should be quite fair for everyone. I think you can still get caught out if you're in that micro sector or where you are in the sector when you deactivate and all that sort of stuff. So there's still a bit to play out, but I thought it went well.
Tommy, just on the aero package, much different?
I honestly can't tell, mate.
We
didn't run the old one here, so I don't really know.
Yeah, no. Will, actually, I think you had a bit of a race out there with Kai Allen at one point too. Looked like a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, to be honest. I just thought it'd be a bit of fun to switch him back on the outlap and have a bit of a race out there. I actually thought it was Matt, to be honest. So sorry, Kai, but no, it was good. It was good, fun. No reason for it, to be honest. Yeah.
Fair enough. Jamie, I know you've sort of spoken a bit over the past, today and past few weeks about the process of getting back acquainted with the car. Does it get harder each year, like from after each year on, from after you stopped full time?
Yeah, that's fair to say, for sure. It gets harder. When you drive these cars really well and you're a main driver and you're in sync, it's quite poetic, really. It all flows, and doing a good lap on good tyres in a good car, it's a fantastic feeling where. As a co-driver, you're just in massive wobble mode. Everything's just nothing's fluid, nothing's natural. It's just trying to get this thing around. And when you know the limit, it's actually worse. I wish I actually didn't know what that feeling was, because then I wouldn't be trying to chase it. But if you're trying to chase perfection as a co-driver, you end up just getting really angry with yourself and you end up going insane. So you just got to embrace what it is and just try to do the absolute best. And the car is quite nice to drive. I'm enjoying it. But just not trying to find that perfection, because you can never get there as a coe.
I think you said maybe on the TV that the number or coming first in that co-driver session was maybe a little bit better than reality. I think was that sort of the case? Is that what you said?
I think the timesheet is better than what it actually felt inside the car. Yeah, there's about 15 different errors over the lap. Not so much time killers, but it's not natural, but it is what it is. So just got to smile and get on with it and try to enjoy the experience.
Moff, g'day, buddy. We saw some practice starts out there for co-drivers. We're expecting at either some point Sunday we'll see the co-drivers having a crack at the start, or at least at Bathurst, depending what teams decide to do. Usually we say it's been a year since you've had a start in the car, but for many it could be 2 years since they've had a chance to do it. So if we see co-drivers starting, what do you think that opening phase could be like?
Well, I think fundamentally it's a good decision to open it back up to the teams. I think we all pretty much know it didn't add anything to the races from an entertainment point of view last year. So, yeah, look, I was happy enough with my practice start at the end of the co-driver session. I don't know if the other guys did any, but the one we did, I had the opportunity to do one at the end of practice one, but it was pretty well pointless because of the drizzle that was on the track. So, anyway, I wouldn't be surprised to see a number of co-drivers start the race. So I think it'll be sort of back to how it used to be.
Yep. Scott, I imagine you'd be up to doing whatever the team ask of you, but would you jump at the chance to be in the start?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think it's really cool they've brought it back, and no matter what the teams decide, I think it's cool that it's in their hands and they can decide what the outcome will be. And I'm sure that everyone is so smart in the lane. I'd say the majority will probably end up doing the same thing, because smart engineers usually come up with similar ideas. And but it will be cool. I think even just watching some people do the starts today, there was a few 11s left down the straight. There was some good ones to pull up on and get some grip, but it's definitely going to be tricky. It's always hard doing them, and every track surface changes. I think this is one of the better ones to do it on. It's pretty high grip on the front straight. So, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's good it's back.
And Jamie, this would be the longest time in your career since you've been in a start of a supercars race, I imagine, without getting to do one last year. So are you excited to, hopefully, if you choose, to get out and start the car on Sunday?
For sure. Yeah, it's been a few years, maybe 3 years since got the car off the line. I did a couple of practice starts. Unfortunately, the first one, as Moff said, was all drizzle, so it was a little bit of a waste of time. But got one in there, felt all okay. So for sure, if the opportunity arises where I can, the co-drivers start, then get in and have a crack.
Does that mean your last one was Bathurst 22?
Probably, yeah. Was it any good? Can you?
The start was good.
Yeah.
The bit between 1 and 2 wasn't as good.
I think you turned me round up the straight, actually.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
Turned our car, yeah.
My car was in the wall for good.
Yeah, that's right.
Sounds like Jad made a lot of friends.
All for the fans.
All right, anything else in the room while we're here? Looks like we're all done. Thank you, guys. Best of luck tomorrow.